pushing the boundaries and then some. It's a bizarre piece of theatre conceived and performed by Carly Shepherd in the guise of a character known as Chase. And it's a persona she's worked with for a decade. 70 minutes without interval. It's anything but a straightforward narrative arc, because Chase is this sort of larger-than-life character who wants to make the most of social media. She swears like a trooper and wears night terrors as a badge of honour. She's keen to make something of her life. She's 33 years of age. She lives in this single-bedroom flat, which is furnished with found objects. That includes an old Telstra payphone. Hey, look, why not? Let's get a little bit maudlin about it. Let's get a bit melancholy, not maudlin. This is a phone that doesn't work but constantly rings. Go figure, huh? And Chase introduces us to 3 doll friends. There's the influencer with a model figure known as Influenza, or Fluey for short, and she's the equivalent of a Barbie. We find out later that Fluey's choice of life partner is demonic in the literal sense of the word. Sally Roundtree is, according to Chase, the voice of reason. She can only take her in small doses. Traditional girl, described by Chase as a real Aborigine, is her ancestor and spirit god who comes complete with a crow on her shoulder. Chase is constantly live streaming episodes of her life and encouraging those watching to like and subscribe. Mind you, the take-up is hardly significant, and although she calls herself special, Chase is largely friendless, but she still decides to host a party to end all parties where she'll be both the guest of honour and the headline act. And that gives you a bit of a flavour. Dave, what's your take of Chase?
Look, I found it to be really interesting. Like I said before, this is one of those performances where until the whole story is revealed to you and the environment that Chase is actually in, you sit there thinking, what on earth am I watching? Once all of those pieces, and I don't want to ruin it for anyone that hasn't gone to see it, because you get this magical moment during this performance where suddenly all the pieces fall together and you go, oh, I've got it. That moment makes everything that's happened before it suddenly work. It makes you realise what exactly has been going on, and I'm hoping you picked up on what kind of environment she was in, Alex, because it did take me a little while to actually...
I didn't. No, I did not, Dave. So you'll have to tell me off air, so to speak, because, I mean, I appreciated it, although my wife did not, I've got to say.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she dishes up shocks and delights in equal measure if you're up for it. Clearly she has a fertile imagination, talking about Carly Shepherd, and she's worked closely with the director, Kamara Bell-Wykes. You need to be broad-minded, and you need to appreciate the absurd, I reckon, to get something out of Chase. And it is, again, as so much of today, a show for selective tastes. But Shepherd, to me, was this bundle of pent-up energy and emotion. She throws herself into the role. She plays with us throughout, taking on the guise of the characters that I've talked about. She writhes, she climbs, she cajoles, she strips, she meditates, and she makes the stage her own. I reckon it's up to you to determine what you make of the material presented, though, Dave.
Oh, definitely, yeah. All I'll say is, like, the clue for what world she is living in is in the lines, there's been no land for a long time, and there's been no line for a long time. And then she also says, I had to steal my next door neighbour's ID to be able to get into the last bunker. That explains everything that's going on for the entire production. Okay,
well, I mean, you can see it as satire or social commentary. And just a quick word about the set. The designer, Small Sound, has fitted a great deal into a small space. And there's this sort of odds and sods collection, which is very much in keeping with the tenor of the production. And you've got projections and video footage frequently populate the flat brown cardboard that constitutes the wall of the apartment. It's on today. Sunday is the last day. Is it the last day?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, it's the last day, I think. So there's if you are into the extreme, then Chase may be for you. What do you reckon out of 10, Dave?
Oh, look, now I fully understand the production. I totally loved it. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, and look, to me, it's about a 7 out of 10 production. I think there's a lot there, but it's going to be, it's very, very funneled. Not everybody's going to get to enjoy it or appreciate it, because some will find it a little bit too extreme, whereas others maybe, really go with the flow and laugh a lot. So it's kind of, and again, that broad-mindedness, the C word is used liberally, and I think I should say that. So be prepared for that if you go along to the Malthouse Theatre. I mean, there is a lot of